We rented a scooter and drove an hour outside of the city of Yogyakarta to visit Borobudur temple. This is the largest Buddhist temple in the world and one of the most iconic and ancient destinations in all of Indonesia. We can't wait to explore and share with you guys everything you need to know before visiting Borobudur.
How about your sleeper size?
4. So you get these little slippers out here, so you need to change into them. You can't walk with your shoes. We kind of read up a little bit online that you have to follow some rules, you know, you have to like cover your knees and stuff. We do see a lot of people like not doing that. I think you'll be fine if you come with like shorts and stuff like that.
So we've got our special shoes on. They're actually called upanats, and it's to protect the temple from getting more damage, because wearing normal shoes can do that. They're trying to preserve the temple as much as they can.
If you're walking outside and you step into a dog's poo and then you bring into the temple, it's not ideal, you know, so it kind of makes sense that you have to wear brand new clean slippers. I'm just wondering, can you keep them? You think you can keep them? Oh cool, because actually
we don't have space for that,
and we needed flip-flops as well, so spot on. Yes.
I just wanted to quickly tell you the process of getting in. You get a wristband. It was pretty fast actually, and then you get a little green ticket for the shoes and a free water. That's if you got the temple structure ticket. So there's 2 different tickets you can get to come here. There's just the temple yard and the temple structure. That's the one where you can actually go up the temple, which I think in my opinion is probably the better option. You get to actually see the temple. It is about $5 more than the other ticket, so they're the 2 choices at the moment. There isn't actually a sunrise ticket that you can get. It's been closed since the pandemic, that ticket, and they haven't reopened it yet. Hopefully they will in the future, because we did want to do that, but obviously we can't. So we're just climbing the temple structure as early in the morning as we can before it gets too hot. When you buy the temple structure ticket, you automatically get a tour guide that's going to take you around. We're in tour group 17, waiting for our tour guide. I think we go in about 15 minutes and it lasts about an hour and a half. So we go up and the show's around. Quite excited. So we've started our tour. We have to walk 200 meters. We're already looking at the temple. Our tour guide just told us loads of information about how it was built and everything. Basically, it was built in the 8th century when there was Hindus and Buddhists living on Java Island. The rocks were taken from nearby volcanoes to build it. A lot of stone has been put into this temple to build it. And then after an eruption of one of the volcanoes, the temple was buried for 800 years. And it wasn't rediscovered until the 1800s. So this was hidden for a long time. People living around here didn't know that it was actually under the ground. And then over the past 200 years they've been restoring it. I think about 28 countries around the world have contributed to restoring it, because obviously it's very expensive to restore a temple like this. And there's over 504 Buddha statues across the whole temple.
But apparently almost half of them have missing heads, and they couldn't really replace it because they want to keep it authentic, they want to keep it original with an original stone. But I mean that happened all over Southeast Asia. You see like beheaded Buddhas everywhere.
Here we are. There it is. Terima kasih. We're in the temple structure.
The moment of truth. We're stepping on the ancient stones right now. Yeah, it looks pretty majestic. Like I can see these water fountains. So I can't imagine what it looked like when it was all like brand new and it was like loads of people actually doing stuff in here. I mean, let's get closer a little bit to see the fountain. I mean, look at it, man. It looks so majestic. It's absolutely beautiful. I feel like I am in a documentary right now.
So they scan us in to climb up the temple structure because, like I said, there is 2 tickets. So I think if you only buy the temple yard ticket, you can only stay down on that section and just look at the temple and walk around it. Obviously, if you pay the extra, it's only like $5 extra, you can go up, which I think is definitely worth it. Obviously, there is a limited amount of tickets per day. I think there's 1,200, and then in hour time slots from like 8:30 in the morning till 4 or 5 in the evening, and 150 people can go up per hour. So they control the amount of people that can actually climb it, which helps with preserving the rocks and also means you can actually enjoy it without it being too crowded. Take some good pictures as well. So I think our guide is just there. This wall is covered in depictions of the Buddha and people. There's actually detail everywhere you look, even low down. There's some even older images here. These have obviously rubbed away. There's loads of different levels to this temple, and this one is telling the life story of the Buddha. The next one we're going to go to is depicting the teachings of the Buddha. So there's two different themed tours you can do when you do this. There's the Dharma one, which we're on right now, which is kind of the spiritual side of the temple, and then there's the other one, it begins with K. It's a really long word, I can't remember what it is, but that's more about the royalty side of the temple and the kingdom that lived here during this time. So we opted for the spiritual one. We thought it was more interesting to learn about Buddhism.
So do you think these are the renovated or the original stones right here? About the paint, back in days they painted it, so you can still see a bit of like the paint in here,
that looks like the one that's not renovated. This looks a little bit renovated because you can see what's depicted on it. He did say that it was really broken when it was rediscovered again, so I think a lot of this has been renovated. And apparently the ground here, basically there was no foundation in the whole temple, so it was really dangerous. Yeah. So they put all these stones in, they basically took all the stones out and put them all back in to build a better foundation so that it doesn't collapse if there's another earthquake or volcano erupting or something. We're on the next floor. I cannot believe how well preserved it actually is. I mean, I know they renovated it, but the fact that this lasted that long underground for so long is very impressive. There's so much detail. They even have the Guardians of Knowledge here. They're usually holding a ball with the flower of life on. He's missing his face, but this one has a face here. Looks like that. Although his leg is a bit broken. There's many different levels to this temple. The first few levels teach you about giving, praying, providing protection to others, and education. And then this next level is the final level of Nirvana.
Yeah, this is the one you see on the internet and stuff. You see these
famous
like
one.
Yeah, you
The
see these
stupas.
things and something inside. You think it's some sort of secret treasure, but it's actually like Buddha statues, and it's like a big no-no if you to touch them. Don't touch them. Some people think it's for good luck, but it's not.
We're at the top right now. It's extremely hot, and we came here on the second time at 9:30, so we have till 11. Cannot imagine doing this in the middle of the afternoon, so if you're gonna do it, I would definitely recommend doing it as early as possible, because there's no shade up here. There's literally just the stupas, so yeah, it gets really hot. But these are basically representing Nirvana. There's all these stupas and bells, and there's actually Buddhas inside. There's no other pictures on the walls here because nobody knew what Nirvana would look like, so didn't have a depiction for it. So they just have these stupas with the enlightened Buddhas inside, and then the big one in the middle, there is no Buddha or no depiction of a person up there because that means perfection, and apparently nobody's perfect. Honestly, Mario, these are actually way bigger than I thought they were going to be.
Yeah.
They look really big when you stood next to them.
Can't imagine what it looked like here like 100 years ago before, you know, like big antennas and like houses and things like that, and obviously less people. Must have looked absolutely next level. So if you're wondering what's exactly inside of this thing, it's obviously a statue. There's like a better view. You feel like it's completely cut off, so it's just basically a Buddha statue. Some people do climb in here. You're not really supposed to do that, but you know, you do anything for a perfect shot for the Instagram.
So this is what to expect when you're at the top in terms of the amount of people. This is the highest you can go. You can't go on that one. There's a few people taking selfies, but I mean, look at the view. You can see all of the mountains around. Yeah, I can't imagine what it was like before when they didn't have a limit on the amount of people up here. It would have probably been really busy, so this is a lot nicer if you want to just enjoy it with less people.
Just here, clockwise. Why clockwise? Respecting the temple, even astronomy. You may clockwise 1 or 3, and then again here. Then.
So sometimes you can find a little quiet spot, get a couple shots super quick, and then be on your way.
I feel like I could be spending here an entire month just by myself, and I cannot imagine what it would be like without all these people, because there is a lot of people. We're trying to get some shots where there's less people, obviously, to get a nicer shot, but to be honest, it is quite a lot of people.
And the crazy thing is that's a limit. That's 150 people an hour.
Yeah.
So can you imagine what it was like before when just anybody was coming up with a ticket? Must have been really crazy.
Yeah, I felt like it probably was something like Angkor Wat, because Angkor Wat can get extremely busy, you know. People were lucky who experienced Angkor Wat during the lockdown. That's probably one time in a lifetime, but you know, the reality is that, you know, everybody wants to come and see this temple, and it is fair play. Like, it is, you know, totally fair. We are just like everybody else, and so on. So yeah, you gotta understand that, but I really cannot imagine what it would be like if there wasn't that many people here.
So we actually lost our tour guide. I think he already left, and we saw another one and he told us it's time to go. It's 2 minutes to 11 and we have till 11, so fortunately gotta leave now. Wow, my head is extremely hot. Mario, touch my head.
Alright, you're gonna have a sunstroke for sure.
We need to get out of here and get some coconut or something.
So I do feel like we came out on like the opposite side, right?
Oh.
Yeah, I feel like that.
Oh yeah, this is like a garden.
Yeah.
Now you can walk around the yard and stuff. You can actually spend as long as you want here in this area. Doing a photo shoot with some random guy. Let's do it.
1, 2, 3. Oh, this one. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, gonna go back to Mario. He's looking at me like, what are you doing? I leave him for 5 minutes and this happens.
So when we were looking up the tickets online for Borobudur temple, it said that you should wear white clothes. Well, it was like sort of advised, but I thought, oh, you must wear white. So me and Olivia don't have anything white. So you know, she was like, oh my God, I only have black gloves and like I can't reveal my shoulders and things like that, you know, because it is the temple, you know, ancient temple. But then we got here and everyone's wearing shorts, everyone's wearing, you know, girls wearing like really like relatively revealing clothes for Asia. And to be honest, the white clothes were only for the heat because it's so hot out here. So you make sure that you keep hydrated because damn, it's so hot. I don't know why. This place is hotter than any other place. You'd probably be somewhere in town in the sun and you wouldn't be as hot as being here in this temple. It's absolutely boiling.
My biggest advice is just don't wear black. I was gonna wear a black top today. I'm so glad I didn't. I'm on fire right now. Probably got sunburn.
On the way out, you see like a fenced up bunch of stones, and I feel like these stones are the original stones from the temple, but they're a little crumbled off, you know, and not really good for use probably. So they probably gonna be replacing them with the new ones, or they need to carve or something like that. But yeah, there's still a lot of happening. You've seen a lot of stones that have not been carved, you know, and even though it's been invested $28 million into this whole temple, there's still a lot of work needs to be done. Like you can tell that there's some of the things are missing, you know, bit of artwork and stuff.
And apparently there's over 2 million original stones in this whole temple, which is a lot. He said you could count for yourself if you want, but we've only got an hour, so...
No. But you can instantly see the stones that are original and the stones that have been, you know, replaced. You can clearly tell that, you know, the original ones look like really old, relatively eroded, but yeah, they really look ancient, you know, and the new ones you can actually tell there's like big gaps between the blocks and things like that. But I'm really happy that people are doing something about it, and I think it is right, you know, to replace it, because people who built it in the beginning would probably appreciate it.
We're going through all the tourist section as you leave, trying not to buy anything, but Mario spotted something.
Oh.
It's this thing, basically. Mario!
Sorry.